All right, this is going to be a difference that we've never done, or a different thing we've never done before. But we're going to record this whole entire event tonight, and then recast it and put it up on, and go from there. But Mike, we're out here at Daytona. Tyler Dohar just had a little bit of a spin there as I was having some technical difficulties with this Streamlabs thing that's going on. But now we're going to record it. Tyler Dohar spinning off track. No caution coming out. 17 laps into this race. That's not a killer for him as long as he doesn't go a lap down or more than one lap
Oh,
down.
there's another one. Oh, looks like they're pitting.
Yeah, pits will be closed. So some guys might come down and grab some fuel and tires
Oh.
and not have to pit at the end of the stage. If they were towards the back of the field, they might have been pulling that strategy of not worrying about stage points. I don't know if I would worry about pitting this early for fuel. If what lap we on?
18.
18, so 12 more laps. 13, 22. If they can run 24 laps, then pitting right now puts them to the end of stage two. So actually, that's not a bad idea. The problem is you're giving up a lot of points here to start the season with stage one in this whole thing.
The way I look at it, man, I mean, stage points are great, but you got to be there at the end. And I think these guys, I mean, it's interesting that they're doing it this way. It looks like it's Hunter Peach, Zach Meredith, Kyle Taub. I feel like there's and Braden Holt. Oh, yep. So you got four guys. Looks like four teammates that decided to pit together. So it could work out. See how it plays out in their favor. Pit road just came closed.
Yeah, so I mean, they're not going to go a lap down, but I mean, they're going to be able to stay out. I did see last night in the Next Gen
Oh,
series on Monday nights, there was a couple guys that did elect to stay out, and they ran all the way to the end of stage two by conserving fuel under caution, and then there happened to be a caution during stage two halfway through it. So they were able to come down and get some fuel and tires, and they were fine. So I don't know if that's a plan or a hope, but it could be. But we just saw somebody swing down to that bottom line, and at first I was thinking it was Enrique because that's who we always seen in the nine. But as soon as I remembered who took the nine, now it doesn't really shock me. But that was our good buddy Expert Racing that just swung down to the bottom line, and once he did that, almost everybody else shifted up to the top line. They abandoned that bottom line. So does that mean that they just don't want him leading the pack? Now you got a couple more guys shifting down in front of him once they got back by. And I believe that is going to be
Byron.
Byron moving to the
Byron
bottom
number
in his
two.
two car.
Stout Whiskey's pushing.
That's crazy. Stout Whiskey coming back up to the field
Not a
in a
lot of momentum.
55.
Oh,
Woo, 14
he
of
got
Nate
it. Oh,
Lehman.
oh,
Wow.
I think he got it. Did he get it?
It says Josh Arnold
Oh
led the
no.
lap. I'm thinking Josh led that lap to the end of stage break, which means we're going to be pulling up old J-Paw up into the booth, and he might not be too happy with pulling him up, but he should be happy with winning the stage. We'll give him a second to go down and hit the pit stop, and then we'll grab him as they come out of the pit stalls. But it looks like your top 10 for stage one is going to be J-Paw in the 22, Nate Lehman in the 14, Enrique Quiones third, Cole Snyder fourth, Byron Jones fifth, John Osborne sixth, our good buddy Stout Whiskey, otherwise known as Jeff No, finishing seventh, Joshua Franks eighth, Cameron Sapp, otherwise known as Atlanta Racing, coming in at ninth, and Joshua Roberts in the 69 machine bringing it home 10th for the top 10. That's a lot of guys that I was maybe not expecting to be in the top 10 to finish in the stage. And there's a lot of guys who I did expect to be in the top 10 that are not in here.
Kurt, I'm not sure if you missed it, but it looked like after the caution flew, looked like Byron accidentally got into the 25 and he sent him up in the coal, and Cole made one hell of a save right there to not wreck under caution.
Let's go back and
Right
take a look
after
at this.
right after the caution came out, that was almost a disaster for those guys up front. That was close.
All right, so we got on top of Cole's car. We'll take a look and see what happens here as we come to the finish line. So this is on the front stretch. They're coming through the tri-oval. You see them move to the bottom. 14 tried to get there and did not make it there. But here comes Byron. He gets a bump from the 55, goes into the 25, and yeah, turning right into the 24. Now, this was one of the things I was asking about before whenever we were talking about the end of the stage breaks with the caution coming out. Will the caution come out exactly when they cross the finish line? And do they keep driving? And, we talked about it. Keep it into the pedal until you see the yellow come out. I don't know if that was just a push from somebody else that they weren't expecting the caution to be out, or was that the caution was a little bit after the finish line? It looked like it was pretty close to being right at the finish line, Mike. I don't see any reason why the guys would have still been in the pedal, but not everybody lets off at the same time. So if you let off a little earlier than the other guy, you're going to get bumped.
Yep, that's the risk of stage racing, man. You never know when that caution is going to fly, and you got to stay in it until that caution comes out because you don't want to lose nothing. Because I'm pretty sure, based off of when the caution came out, 14 got the win there in that stage.
Well, let's go to if you want to go down and ask Papa real quick, and we'll grab whoever the stage winner was.
10-4, I'll be right back.
All right. So once Mike gets the stage winner, we'll bring that stage winner up before they go green again and give them a talking to and see how they're feeling about this race, on whether or not it was Nate Lehman or if it was J-Paw. It was so close at the finish line. It only counts, though, when the caution came out. So that's where we're going to have to look at race control and see if they are registering the 14 as the winner when the caution came out, or if it was the 22 whenever the other caution came out. So we'll see where that was. Mike's just now come back up to the booth. What you got, Mike?
Yes, sir. Josh was ahead at the start finish line, but the caution didn't come out till afterwards, which means Nate Lehman will be your stage winner.
All right, well, we'll go grab Nate Lehman and talk to him real quick. I'm sure he'll be ecstatic about that, finding out that he is the stage winner. So let's grab him and bring him up here. Nate, you got a copy, buddy? This is Swatson York up in the booth.
Hey, I got you guys.
All right, so we were looking to figure out who was actually the stage winner there. We knew.
Please tell me it was me.
Oh, we
Please
knew
tell me it
you
was me.
shifted down to the bottom. You had Enrique on your back bumper. If we counted it at the finish line, J-Paw wins the stage. But
Oh man.
but the ruling is it's when the caution comes out. You actually beat out J-Paw by a bumper for when the caution came out. So you are stage one winner.
Wow. Yeah. We'll take it, I guess. I knew it was close. I just.
J-Paw's probably not going to be happy
No,
about
it was
that,
close.
but
No.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that worked out for us and that our teammates didn't get too much damage from the little pileup that happened behind us. But
so how is the track feeling in these next gens? First time racing in the series, in the league. How is it feeling on track with all these guys? You got so many different guys out on track. This is one of the bigger fields that we've had in a long time.
yeah.
29 guys in the field. That's a good amount here.
Yeah. Real stable for the most part on that high side. Luckily, I'm surrounded by guys I've been racing with for a while and turned down for what, so that's always a plus. And we'll just try to keep it going here.
Any questions for you, Mike?
Yeah, I do gotta ask, man. I'm seeing a lot of guys get loose off turn 4. Is that just a product of the car, the combination of the track and the car, or is that just a driver mistake?
I think it's definitely part of that steering pinion. If you go too low on that pinion, then yeah, you're not going to be able to have enough reaction time off the corner, which is probably resulting in a lot of guys getting loose. So not an issue for me so far, but never say never.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations
right.
on your stage win, man.
I appreciate it.
All right, Nate, we'll send you back down to your teammates. I know you guys are very fast at Super Speedway, so good luck. Don't let those other Dog guys get you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, looks like we've got some company up here in the booth, Mike. Our good buddy Repeat joined the booth. Pete, what you up to, buddy?
Well, Kurt, I wish I was coming in to be the bearer of better news, but unfortunately, I don't actually see the stream up and
Nope,
running on
it's-
Twitch or on Facebook right now.
Yeah, Streamlabs is down, so I'm having to record the entire event, and then I'm going to repost it.
10-4, there you go. Well, in that case, yeah, good. No, I actually don't have the race up right now. I popped in over by Pop Bear down at Race Control, which looks like he's doing a great job. I figured I'd come in and say hi. I just got home, able to make it. Oh, looks like at about lap. Well, yeah,
22.
I'm not sure what lap it is. But I just
25.
heard you 25. Okay, I'm back on lap 12 on one of your previous attempts. But I did see where the Double Deuce old J-Paw was leading, so good job by him. No surprise there, but I will let you guys get back to it. Good luck. Have a great race, and go get him.
No problem. We appreciate it. Yeah, it's been eventful with Streamlabs going in and out repeatedly until I just said, you know what? I'm just going to record the entire event and repost it later. So,
Well, I don't know how you managed to get the one and only Mike York into the booth with you, but whatever it was, Mikey's not going to pay you.
I got a present later for him.
Oh no.
Good luck, guys.
Thanks, Pete.
But yeah, it's been a wild one, Mike. We've got a lot of racing up front. The 5 of Hunter Peach, which is odd to see Hunter Peach in the 5 car, is up front right now with Kyle Taub on the outside, right behind him, followed closely by the 17 of Zach Meredith. That bottom line though is picking up with Nate Lehman, Byron Jones, and Joshua Roberts on the bottom. The other car that's down there is the 9 of Expert Racing, Josh Franks, but the rest of the field has pretty much migrated to the top line following Hunter Peach and Kyle Taub.
Well, if you look up on that high side, see Lehman just pulled up there, but those top 4 guys up there, Peach, Taub, and Meredith, and Holt, were the guys that pitted just before the stage break. So that top line's going to prevail. There's too many guys lined up there.
Yeah, and
But
if I'm looking at these numbers
starting to even
correctly,
out a
is
little
that the
bit.
whole J-Paw militia at the top line?
It looks like it.
I'm seeing the 14, the 5, the 16, the 22, the 17, the 54. Is that the 25 and the 24? So, yeah, so that's all of them. So the bottom line is a little bit under advantage here with, or disadvantage with only a handful of guys on the bottom, but there is that second and third pack back there. They are separated. They are back far enough that if an incident does happen out in front of them, they can at least communicate to the guys that they're in line with and get slowed down, just like you and I did, Mike, after 90 laps of running an NR and then saying, you know what, time to go. And we went to the front and wound up finishing third and fourth or second and third in that race after dodging a giant just explosion of cars wrecking out of turn 4 at iRacing Super Speedway. But it was a fun race. But we talked about it earlier in the broadcast and things like that, that it was very, very boring just to sit back there and just ride behind one another. We had a few guys helping us also that are in this race tonight. Jose Ruiz is one of them. Jeff Ludnam is one of them. Those guys helped us by staying back there, and we had a good amount of cars that just kind of hung back and waited and pitted together. Never really fell off more than about 8 to 10 seconds than the front pack, but we were far enough off that we could always slow down, brake, communicate to each other enough saying wreck, 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 and all of us would start slowing down. We never had any real issues. We never took tires. We just took fuel. We even stayed on pit road and let everybody leave pit road before we even left pit road to make sure that we were at the back of the field and we could just lay off the field as we went green. And those guys are definitely taking that attitude tonight and putting it to use. We'll see if it worked for them in the end. I've seen it not work, and I've seen it work. So we'll see who has the lucky rabbit's foot tonight, or the flip of a coin, and hopefully they chose heads, or I guess if their favorite is tails, I always choose heads, but we'll see what happens here with these guys.
Tails never fails, my man.
I hear that, but I've chosen tails and it failed. So
No, one thing I have noticed here that you had mentioned earlier, that Dohar had he got spun through the infield or something like that.
yeah, he spun off of turn 4 right through the infield and then got going, but there was no caution.
Well, I've noticed that he is now one of the guys that's taken the strategy to be in tail end the longest line. He is the last
Learned his lesson
car
real
in
quick
that
then.
line. Yep. He's been one of those guys that has dropped back. Looks like Lloyd Gallahan. He has fell back as well. So I think I would be shocked if the top 8 that were not double file, because they're all working together. It looks like they're all in sync. So we'll see how this stage break, see if it shakes them up a little bit. We got about 8 laps till the stage break, so it's going to be interesting to see who decides to play it safe and who decides to make a move for those extra stage points. Kurt?
Nope, didn't realize I was on mute that whole damn time I was talking. But, anyways, um, I was talking about the 8 or 9 guys up at the top line. We do have teams in turn down for what, but there's no rules against teams working together. Now, obviously, with CDR and I believe the other one is CCR or something, but those teams consist of those drivers on the top line, the 8 or 9 guys up there. Those guys have worked together for years now. They all know each other. They run in multiple leagues together. They're always, around each other. That's a good group of guys to be a part of. The other issue, the other thing for other drivers in this league to look at is say, hey, if those 8 or 9 guys are going to work together, then the other, 18 of us have got to work together to beat those 9. We cannot let that 9 dictate and run this whole thing and be in charge. So they have to work together. The problem is the other 18 guys also want to win, so you can't get a whole group of 18 guys to really work together. So I don't know what they can do to try to beat, the 9 or 10 guys working together, but it's going to take a good amount of guys to work and get to going here.
He saved it. Oh, what a save. Stout Whiskey with the save of the race.
Good old Stout. Like, we've known most of these guys for, there's guys in this race that I've known. Obviously, I've known my brother my entire life, but the rest of the field I've known, it's a good 5-6 years for most of these guys.
Oh, what a save. Looked like Franks was behind the 25, and I'm not sure if he got loose. He had to have gotten loose, because there's no reason why you would take it 3 wide off turn 4 and go out behind him. It looks like he got into the 55, shot him down the infield. What a save. That was crazy.
I'll take a look at that. Where exactly do you see it?
Let me take a look here. I believe it's the tail end of 34? 33.
But up front, we do have Nate Lehman. That bottom line now does have J-Paul on the bottom. He's bailed on his group of guys that are on the top line. We're coming to the end of stage 2 with 4 laps to go. Is this J-Paw's move to say, hey, you know what? The second group of guys is now catching on to the tail of the bottom line. There could be a massive grouping down on the bottom line versus the 8 or 9 guys that were on the top. So J-Paw first one to move to the bottom, and it might propel him right to the front, passing his teammate Nate Lehman right now on the bottom. This could be the move to get him another stage, well, a stage win, since he lost the stage in stage 1 by only a few feet.
Well, if you've noticed now, it looks like Shad is leading that second pack, and they are coming. They're coming in a hurry. So if they latch onto that bottom, I think the ties are about to turn on the 14.
Yeah.
Well, you got to have numbers. Restricted plate racing is a game of numbers. That's why you see multiple teams working together here, and that's why you see the Chevys working with the Chevys, Fords with the Fords. So it's going to be interesting to see what that second pack does, because I don't see Shad sitting back there for long.
No, that second pack, they did it in the first stage, and they were not able to get up here and get any stage points. So I don't see them doing it 2 stages in a row, getting 0 stages and letting this whole group up here battle for stages. This is the beginning of the season. It's not a terribly long season, but if you have a bad, 1 or 2 races where you get 0 stage points and, 10 other guys or 12 other guys get stage points, it's really hard to come back from that if they get 20 points on you and you got 0.
Yeah, that's why stage racing, it can either really help out your season or it can really hurt your season. Because you could, you might be able to finish in the top 5 of the race, but if you don't score any stage points, you're really missing out. And with this being, Daytona in the season, the guys who play it safe are only going to be the ones who lose out on those stage points, hoping that they have a shot to be there at the end.
Yeah, I'm watching Shad right now. He's still hanging back, and I'm wondering if that's because of the 9 being on the bottom lane, and he doesn't want to get behind the 9. I think he's waiting for the 9 to go to the top lane or something before he makes his move. But we're coming to the final lap of the stage here, and I don't think they're going to get up here and get any points. We're going to be going to lap 40 right here. Oh, Expert looking to the middle, backs out of it smartly, finally. Yeah, the whole group with Shad, I don't think is going to get a single stage again.
Well, I'm not sure. I believe they go to the completion of 40, so they still have another lap.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought they were throwing it at 40, so we'll see if the caution comes out here. It does not yet. So you're right. At the end of lap 40. So is this the time frame that Shad and them go? Could they go three
I
wide
think
right through the
they're too
middle?
far. I think they're too far back. We gotta. Yep. It looks like there's gonna be a race between Arnold and Lehman again, unless somebody tries to go 3 wide, which I don't think that'd be very smart. But
We've got some
looks like
drivers that might not be so smart, though.
the 5 is pushing the 14. He is pushing him hard.
Ooh, wiggle.
Oh yeah.
Are these two going to go 1-2, 2 stages in a row? Is J-Paul going to get it this time?
Byron's pushing him really well. Oh, he moved
Byron
up.
goes to the inside. J-Paul throwing the block on his teammate.
What a move.
J-Paul winning stage 2.
What a move.
I thought Byron went to the inside of him, but that was J-Paul going up to
no.
block the 14.
Yep,
Wow.
he's like, you ain't getting me this time.
Yeah. I think Lehman went back down to the group and said, hey, I got stage 1, you didn't.
That's a very smart move on the 22's part there to secure those points.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk to J-Paul, see how he feels about taking stage 2 since he missed out on stage 1 by a few feet. And he probably assumed, well, when I get to the finish line, I've got it. But
I'm assuming
when the
so.
comes out, so.
Yeah, that's almost impeccable timing to be able to pull out. Yeah, that was a great move. Great move. I think he learned his lesson because you remember from the first time, Lehman shot down on what, coming through the tri-oval? So he just beat him to the punch.
But this time, J-Paw stayed on the bottom lane. He wasn't on the top lane until he got to the tri-oval. Then he shifted up to the top lane, and I think that definitely helped him. But yeah, Nate Lehman beat him on the bottom lane in the first stage. So it looked like J-Paw set himself up to be on the bottom of stage 2 coming to the end there.
Very well played. Very well played.
I've said it before.
That was fun. That was fun to watch. Yes, he is.
But let's throw it into a commercial real quick, and we'll come back and talk to the stage 2 winner, J-Paw, in that double deuce. All right, let's go grab that stage winner of stage 2, Mr. Josh Arnold. All right, we got stage 2 winner, Josh Arnold, up in the booth. J-Paw, got a copy, buddy.
Hey.
I know I'm not supposed to bring you up during the races, but we got stages, so I got to talk to the stage winners. And you got stage 2. You missed out on stage 1 by literally 2 feet, most likely, if we could slow it down frame by frame. Were you thinking when you crossed the finish line in stage 1 that you got it, or were you kind of under the estimation of it was when the caution came out or when you crossed the finish line?
No, I really thought, I think it is the start finish line, so I'm not sure. And that's why I pushed so hard in stage 2 to just make sure I came out of the race with at least one, because, look, don't know what's going to happen in these next 77 laps, honestly. So just really tried to set myself up to get as many points as I could this first week. You know, coming off that Truck Series championship. You'll know why I was going for those points, but now
Oh
we
yeah.
just got to strap it in, and looks like we're gonna restart fourth here, which will be good. I want to be on that outside. You can see how powerful it is. So just running with my boys and having fun out here.
Well, you guys have definitely been running great all together. There's about 8 or 9 of you that have been just kind of beating up on the field on the outside. You went to the bottom there before everybody else did to come out in front of that little group that was on the bottom line, and it helped you get to the front, and then you slid up in front of Nate Lehman right before the finish line. And even Mike and I both were like, "Whoa, what a move!"
Well, I knew that outside was going to have such a run, and I actually barely touched the apron, and it kind of halfway shot me up there. So to keep it straight, I just had to do what I did. And but you know, just I came away with that stage point, so that's really all that I was really going for. I'm trying to stay up at the front because I looks wild back there in the back. So um, I hope to just remain up at the front until
Mike,
the end.
any questions for
Hopefully,
the
I'm
Super
talking to
Speedway
you again.
Guru?
Oh, I just want to say very nicely played, whether or not that apron played a factor or not. You made it look good, so very well played, sir. See you guys are coming in turn 3 now, so good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
Thanks, Kirk.
All right, yeah. He wouldn't even have to tell us about the apron part. I just thought it was a move that he was making. So, if the apron played a part, I don't think it played that much of a part in him going to the high line. I think it was by design, but it was definitely a great move by his part to slide up in front of Nate with the gap back to Byron. There was nobody that was going to beat him to the line, so great job by him. Pace car is going to duck on off, and we're going to go back green with Byron Jones out front, and I believe that is the 69 of Joshua Roberts to his outside, but there's some gaps in between this line. I don't think guys were ready to get going, and Byron took off in the restart zone away from everybody.
And I see a lot of guys already starting to drop to the bottom.
Yeah.
Real quick, so we'll see how long the 69 and Byron can stay out front, because he's got a pack of angry J-Paw militia guys trying to get back to the front.
With 75 laps to go, if we continue to go green here, there's no more stage cautions or anything like that. So if we go green, we're going to have at least, I would think, 2 to 3 stops before we get to the end here. And I think the best thing to do is to sit back still and conserve fuel. Sit back there and trade off on who's leading the pack in the back. But J-Paw going right back to the front. He said he didn't want to be towards the back. He said it was kind of a mess back there, but I'm noticing that there's a few drivers that were hanging back earlier. The 8 in particular, he's still up in here. He's back off a little bit, but he's still within this front group.
Well, I don't want to jinx nothing, Kurt, but we've talked about it time and time again about being patient and going to the back. Looks like now is the time to go to the back. If I was up front in this top 10 seeing all this, I would be dropping back very quickly. There's a lot of guys coming, so it's just man, I've seen a lot of new cars come up in this top 10, so now's the time I'd be dropping back, because some of these guys are getting a little squirrely and way too close to bumping into exit of these corners. And you know just as well what I do, especially off turn 4. If you're pump drafting off of turn 4, somebody's going for a ride.
Yeah, and I've got to notice too, Matt Boone got his lap back, so he is back on the lead lap. He is attached to the back part of this group. He's fallen off a little bit, so that's not really going to help him here. I don't know if that's because he's got damage, and we have no fast repair tonight. So looking at his car, I'm not seeing a whole lot of damage, so I'm not sure if this is by design or not, but one car by itself off the pack like this, he's already a whole turn behind the leader. If we go green and I don't see that strategy working. So if that's a strategy call, I don't think it's going to work for him. But he might have.
I think he's a sitting duck, but if you look a little bit ahead of him, looks like the 84 and the 99 are starting to fall back too. He might have checked up a lot harder than he probably wanted to avoid something. I don't see any reason that you would just want to voluntarily ride around by yourself. So he probably checked up, I'm assuming. He's a pretty smart racer, so I'm sure that we'll be calling his name up front here before this race is over with. Because the only good thing about being that far back, he might get lapped, but as of now, he is away from the mayhem. So he's not exactly in the worst position right now. We're still a long way to go. So.
And if we go, I mean, if we go green for what would be 75 laps to start this third stage, he is in the possibility of going at least 2 laps down with the pace that these guys are running. But we don't know if there's going to be a caution, which means he could be the first car a lap down. Right now, there are no other cars a lap down that would be in range of getting back onto the lead lap. With Jason Pearson now being 7 laps down, he's on pit road. So even if he does go a lap down and a caution comes out, he gets that lap back, he's right back in it. If he goes another lap and another caution comes back out, he's right back in it again. So I guess he's not completely out of it. The only problem I have is if we go completely green the entire way, we probably not going to think it's going to happen.
No, definitely that's definitely not going to happen. So that's what I mean. Right now, he is definitely not in an ideal situation by no means, and he's probably really upset with something that happened because he is riding around by himself. But I think here in about, I don't know, 20, 25 laps, he's going to realize that he wasn't in a bad situation at all. The only way this is a bad situation is if it does go completely green, but even if he does fall a lap down, he'll be the lucky dog. He'll be able to latch on to here somewhere. So he's in a better spot than what some of these guys are about to be.
Yeah. I'm also noticing that the secondary pack that we've seen pretty much all race has not fallen off completely from the front pack yet. They're 10 laps into the second stage and they have not fallen off completely. They're still within striking distance. If you're going to fall off, I think you have to fall back enough. You can't be this close if you think this is falling back and riding behind you.
Not necessarily. See, the stages are gone now, so you don't want to be too far off, because if this does go completely green, you want to be as close to that lead pack as possible, because at the end of this thing, if it does go green all the way, you're just going to have a bunch of single file packs trying to catch another single file pack. So you want to be within drafting range of that lead pack. Otherwise, if it goes green, you're screwed. So it's still early, and I'm still seeing guys getting loose off of 4, even 10 laps into the run. So that tells you somebody's going to get loose off of 4, and it's going to bring all these guys back together. It's just a matter of when. So if I'm in the back, looks like where Ryan McCall is. That's right about where I want to be. Him and Jose. Of course, Jose's back there. So that's where I'd want to be right now, especially in Jose's spot, because he's really got nobody close behind him.
Well, you can see that there's a group of 3 leading this field that has put a little bit of distance between themselves, but the outside line trying to make up ground. Now the bottom line closed in real quick. The 9 of Expert Racing just had a massive run right to the back bumper of the 14. Closed in super quick. But there's only about 7 or 8 guys in the front pack, and then the rest of the field has a pretty small gap between about 7th and 8th. And then there's another gap back to about 10th, but the rest of the field's still within striking distance.
I know it's hard, man, but now's the time you're just trying to ride. You got to click off these laps one way or another, and it's safer to do it this way than being 2-3 wide. So if you're sitting, looks like Josh Frank's in 4th, Jeff Jones in 5th. If there's going to be a move, it's going to come from there, but Enrique is going to fall in behind those guys. So looks like Osborne and Stan are together. Jeff Knows not too far behind. So that second pack, I wouldn't necessarily, the tail end of the first pack, if you're going to see a move, they're going to have to be the ones that step up to be able to stop. But this is definitely the safe play right now, which does not bode well for Matt Boone, because these guys are just going to catch him quicker, and it's going to be harder for him to latch on.
Do you think the field will go single file like this for a long time, or who do you think is going to build that second line? I know you said it may be the 9 or was that the 77 and the 2 may be the first ones if there's a move made, but I don't know. I think at this point we're 54 laps in the race. Why not ride for, you're going to have green flag stops, so why not ride and stick with each other rather than trying to race and maybe cause cautions?
Yeah, that's, and you're still, even though everybody's riding single file like this, a lot of guys are getting loose on the bottom. So it's like see, there's two things riding in these lines. Yeah, you could be up front, you're full throttle. Right now, Josh Arnold is using the most fuel. Same thing with the 24. Anybody behind them, there's a lot of giving and taking going on because nobody's making that move. You're seeing guys getting really big runs and they're not doing nothing with it. So there's a lot of give and take. So if you're riding mid pack, I'd say right about where Stan Carnathan is, Jeff No, you're probably saving a lot more fuel compared to these guys up front. I'm not exactly sure what the fuel runs are, but if this does go green the whole way, you don't want to be the top two in this pack because you're not saving no fuel. I would not be surprised to see the 22 and the 24 swap, or even the 14, because he could save more than them. So there's no. If I'm Josh Arnold, I do not want to lead this pack the whole way because you're not doing any saving whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any saving within the front couple. They're all running almost exactly the same amount. The only person I could say that's maybe saving a little bit was Josh Franks because he keeps backing off of the 14, but then he gets big runs right back to the 14. So it's almost like he's practicing ahead of time. But is he really saving by backing off just a little bit and then getting a massive run and then backing off again and then getting another big run? I don't know if
As
that's
long
going
as
to consistently save fuel.
I mean, as long as you're it depends on how. Ooh, 77 just got real loose right there. It depends on how much you're lifting. You can realistically in a line like this, you could probably ride around at 80-85% throttle and not lose much ground. So there's definitely ways that you can do it to make it look like you're not. So I don't think the top four are saving. I think Josh is trying to either he's working towards something, but he's not going to have the help behind him right now to pull it off. Too many guys are getting loose off of turn 4 still, so, and that's why the guys are starting to fall back that were riding on the bottom because
Well,
they
we
can't hold the
got
bottom for some
newcomer to
reason.
turn down for what Atlanta Racing, otherwise known as Cameron Sapp. He's actually trying to start at the outside line already. He's sitting there right about 7th as he tucks back in line, but he keeps bailing out to that outside line, hoping that maybe a couple guys in front of him bail out too, and maybe a couple guys behind him go with him, but nobody seeming to want to jump off that bottom line, or what we call bottom feed, is what looks like everybody's doing. And I'm kind of surprised because in normal races in real NASCAR, at this point in a race, you usually see everybody migrate to the top lane and get single file. The bottom's usually used early on in the runs, and then everybody kind of migrates to the top, and then you'll start seeing guys, bailing to the bottom to cut the track a little bit to get that bottom line going. But here, everybody's running the bottom.
It's a safe play right now. I mean, guys, I don't know if it's looser up top coming off before that it is on the bottom, but I would definitely not want to be close to that wall and get loose because that means you only got one way to go. So, I mean, it looks like Enrique's moving to the outside.
Yeah, Atlanta needed one person, and Enrique bailed up there. Now, Lehman backed off of Cole Snyder, so is he looking to get a big run and maybe pull Enrique and Atlanta on the outside with him?
I think that you might see those guys on the bottom try to pick him up. He's going to try to come in. I would not. I think the 24 is going to try to stick out as much as he can and try to give him a little bit of a pull, because Enrique definitely doesn't want to be stuck on the outside and drop all the way to the back. So I would not be surprised to see those top 3 guys at certain points move up to pick him up.
77 bounced out there a little bit and did a little bit of draft on 25 and 77. Or 18, but bailed back down to the bottom.
There it is. There's the move. And they'll probably go right back down to the bottom once he's picked up.
All right, so now we got a 1, 2, 3, 4 for CDR.
Yep. And he's almost clear. He's
Expert.
clear.
Yeah, they're definitely cleared. But that's going to hang out.
Whoa.
Enrique clips the apron and gets turned by the 9. And that's going to cause a big calamity going to the back. Atlanta Racing going into the wall. Several other drivers sliding through the grass. Looks like the 82 of Stan Carnathan. It looks like a few other Bill Hales, Chris Murphy, 00 Pacey.
Looked like he got loose. He was the first one to make the move to the bottom in unison with the 24, and it looks like he got loose coming off of 2, and then Josh had nowhere to go. He looks like the third. Oh man, Jeff knows in it.
So we're gonna back it up here and take a look from Josh Franks' perspective here.
Yeah, go to his in car.
So from the in car, whoa, it was already happening. All right, so there's the move that Enrique made to the bottom. You see him go down to the bottom. He clips the apron. Josh goes up the track a little bit, and then as Enrique rejoins the track, Josh is there and clips Enrique, and Enrique goes for a ride, and several others go for a ride as well.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, man. I think the 55 said he was destroyed. Mike Concho, he looked pretty destroyed. Enrique was bouncing wheels, so he's not in good shape either. I wasn't quite sure who else. Well, 69 still in pit road. It looks like the pace car is coming at pit entrance now. So, and it looks like Matt Boone stayed on the lead lap. I think he's the real lucky one out of all this because now he's going to be tail end of the lead lap.
Oh God, there's Mike Honcho, Expert, Enrique, Jeff No, 82 of Stan Kernathan, all involved in this incident here. And I know they're probably screaming at Expert right now, but I mean, there's not. What else is he supposed to do? Enrique made the move. He went to the bottom. He went to the apron. Josh looks like from his in car, it sounds like he lets off, and that's what carries him up the track a little bit. And then as Enrique comes back onto the track, he comes up a little bit higher than the bottom lane, and Expert's there. So,
Now, there's not much Franks could do right there. Not much he could do at all.
Yeah, I know they're probably screaming at Franks, but at this point, I would probably defend him and say there's not much else he could do. I mean, you guys made the move. You went to the bottom, you went to the apron. He came back up, and the dude's there, and there's not a whole lot he could do at that point with that speed going into there. So that's going to bring out our first incident caution, though. Third caution of the night, first incident caution, and we've got several guys out of the race.
Give me 1 second.
Once we restack them, though, that's going to put us with Cole Snyder at the pole, or at the spot at the first position in the 24 machine. That's going to move John Osborne up to second, Nate Lehman third, Josh Arnold fourth, Bill Hales fifth, Tyler Dohar sixth, Joshua Frank still in this race and seventh, Byron Jones eighth, Stan Kernathan ninth, and Ryan McCall top 10 is where we're at right now. But it looks like the 23 is coming back out on the track right now. 37 is coming back out on track. 25 is not moving. 69 is moving. That's Joshua Roberts. I don't think 25 is going to make it back out, so he's going to go a lap down. 69 may make it back. I don't know if he crossed the line in time, but I think he might go a lap down as well. Some guys taking the opportunity to come down pit road, break it up, and change a different strategy. The 5 of Hunter Peach is one of them. The 45 of Jose Ruiz is another one. The 54 of Braden Holt also electing to come down pit road. So this is going to get a little different with the strategies. We've got 58 to go. That's probably 2.5 stops, in my opinion, if we go green the whole way. But as we've seen in the past, I don't think it'll go green. I think this is probably the first of a few, especially when we get closer down to the end of this race. I don't think we'll go completely green all the way to the end. But we are on 1 to green now. Cole Snyder leading this pack. Several guys still out on pit road. Enrique Quinones is one of them. The 37, 54, 45, 23, 5, 17, all back out on track. As we come off of turn 4, that pace car is going to shoot down pit road, and we'll go back green with 57 to go once they cross the start stripe. That LA Rams 24 car out front with the 81 of John Osborne on its outside. teammate of the 24, the 14, going to be sitting right behind him in third position, and their other teammate, J-Paw, out on the outside. 81 not getting a good jump, though. 22 bailing down to the inside line to get lined up with his two teammates again. 81 not on the gas pedal, slow to start this restart, and it really showed that the bottom line was on the gas pedal and ready to go. 24, 14, 22, 53, all out front now. Back down to a single file line other than 4 cars in the outside lane. The rest of the field is sitting right here, stacked up on the bottom. Cars completely up now and ready to go. They are flying 1 and 2 right now. Being led by the 24, still out front with the 14 on his back bumper. The 22 railing the 14. Outside row getting a few more cars to go up with it, but the rest of the field is stacked on that bottom line.
You got me, Kurt?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. That was lots of upset individuals at the moment.
Yeah, I'm sure. I usually try to pull some people during a call, but at this point, I didn't want to pull the people that were involved in that one.
No. That would not be a wise decision.
In other leagues, I usually do, and I mean they know the rules, so they usually come up and try to be as respectful as possible. Didn't do it.
Well,
tonight.
I will say we after that wreck, we have some new players up here now.
Yeah,
Looks like the 53's on the bottom here. That's the first time we've seen him up front. John Osborne's making his way up to 4th. Dohar's back up here to 5th. And McCall and Carnathan up top. You got teammates on the outside, so this is about to get real interesting because I don't think Osborne's going to stay up top, and he's trying. Dohar's not clear yet, which he will be off of 4. So if they're going to do it, they need to get everybody clear. They got to get the 48 and the 82 clear to make that move. John needs to back up a little bit more. Oh, there it is.
4 cars sliding down to the bottom lane.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm surprised Expert didn't go with him. He was partial. I mean, he looked like he was cleared on the 53. I'm surprised he didn't go with him. Now, these 4 up here on the bottom now should go right by the 3 stacked on the outside. That's going to line the entire field on the bottom besides the 4 cars on the outside. 3 of them are connected. So I'm starting to see a second pack forming again. And I feel like they're pulling our strategy. I'm surprised Shad has not come to the front because last night at Daytona in the next gens, he led a lot of laps. Him and Boone were up front almost the entire race leading, and they worked themselves multiple times from the middle of the pack back to the front, and they were fine with it. Then they fell off the pack, and Shad got wrecked by a guy pushing in the draft that he wasn't used to. And that spun it. So I'm surprised he goes right back to it tonight.
You got to think we're only coming up to 9 laps past halfway. There is a long way to go. I think it's early to be making the move that Osborne and them are now, but when you look at what just happened with that wreck, the wreck can come from anywhere. That's if the safest spot up front is if you got someone in front of you and behind you that you trust. If you don't, it's not the safest spot. So when you get a mixture of these inexperienced guys up here with these veterans, a lot of things happen. Oh, see, as you see them move to the bottom now. See how long it takes him to go right back up top.
And Byron and his dad there, the 2 and the 77, they just jump up there and get behind those 3 with the Expert, and they bailed on that group. So now the 77, 2, and 9 are going to have to find a position to get back into single file at the bottom. Who's going to start the next chain of the outside run? I'm
I
looking at
would
the
like to
81.
think it's. I would love to think the 81's going to make the move up high, but like I said, it's still pretty early. So, you don't want to show your cards yet because you got 4 guys at least. Oh, there he goes.
Ooh, there he goes.
Never mind. I was going to say you don't want to show your cards too early, but they got the numbers, so it's 4 on 3. See which one prevails. But they're going to need more help because that
The 3 on
53
the
is about to go
bottom
a huge
have the
run.
whole rest of the field on the bottom. It's going to suck those guys right up to him and pull them right past the 4.
Well, if those 4 outside can get nose to tail and draft pretty, precisely, they can make a run at it, but they have no help whatsoever.
Yeah, I was hear guys talking about in these next-gen cars, it's more about tandem draft, that old
It
style
is.
that we've seen back in the middle 2000s. And I don't know. I do see that. I feel like you have to have 3 and
3.
not 2. Because you have to
At
have
least
somebody
3.
push the guy in the middle up to the leader and then back off the leader, and
Well,
then let the
yeah.
middle guy back up to him again to get another push. And continue the chain of backing up and pushing, backing up and pushing. And it's an accordion effect.
Oh
Well,
no!
the
Oh
82 gets
no!
into the back of somebody there and turns him down into another car, and Pacey Wyden
Oh
was off track with no caution.
man, that's bump drafting gone wrong.
Yeah, Pacey's not going to be happy about that. He is stuck in the wall.
He's not. Yeah, he's done. Nothing he can do about that. That's just bump drafting gone wrong.
So a
And now
guy who had
everybody's
nothing
gonna
to do with the
regroup.
bump drafting gets thrown to the inside wall with no caution.
That's the danger of doing it from the high side. It's there's a lot of shuffling going on in this second pack too. This second pack is racing like it's the lead, and these guys are just gonna pull away because
I feel
when
like
you
they're trying to push
see
Shad at the front of that second
when you see these guys up front, you got 4 almost starting to break away now. We were talking about it earlier. If I'm that 3rd car in line, I'm not pushing the 22, but there's going to be about 2 feet between us. I'm not going to push him because the last thing you want to do is push the pusher. So if you
you
do
can
it, you
push
got
the
to do
pusher,
it.
but if you are communicating within your team channel, as those 3 for sure are, if J-Paw can push the 14, back off of the 14, let the 24 know when he's off of the 14, then get the shove from the 24, then the 22 then tells him, hey, coming up on the 14's bumper, then the 24 backs off. That's what I'm talking about, that accordion effect of 3 cars and not just 2 for a tandem draft. I don't know if tandem can be 3 cars or not, but that's the way to really work this car. Wow, 24 is swerving all over the place.
Man,
And I'm
it's
not
looking
used
like
to seeing it like that.
No, man, that's what I'm saying. These guys are getting really loose on the bottom, and it's not going to take long. If you're sitting behind the 24 and you just watch him get that loose, do you want to stay behind him, or would you rather just group up and go up top?
If I'm the 53,
You
I'd be
know,
calling out to the 77, the 2, the 9, whoever's behind the 9, saying, hey, there's only 3 of these guys. These guys have been running this entire race. Let's go buy these guys. And 5 cars against
exactly.
3 is the strategy you need.
But you got to have those 5 guys. You got to be able to trust them. There's a lot of new faces, and when it comes to bump drafting at Daytona or Talladega, you got to be around guys you trust. That's what I'm saying. That 24, that's dangerous, man. That is dangerous, especially in these cars, because there's certain
You
points
don't
and
see the
times where it's
14 and
just gonna
22
snap
doing
on
that,
you.
though. It's only the 24 out of those 3 cars.
Well, Layman had mentioned it earlier about the steering pinions. If they have it set too low, they're not able to catch it in time. So
Turn
it's
2, it doesn't look like he's getting that loose. It's only turn 4.
it's only turn 4.
It's crazy. But the second
See,
pack back there has about 11 to 12 cars in that pack, but they are intentionally staying off of this front pack. And
well,
Chad is leading that second pack, so definitely a good car to be leading from.
I just heard Chad on the radio. He's wanting to catch this pack, so
He got his teammate from the other
Yep.
league, and he got his teammate from turned down for a couple seasons ago. Matt Boone pushed him like crazy last night in the HTL iRacing League event at Daytona for their regular season finale. Boone and Shad were tandem pretty much the entire race. So Shad and Boone are very, very comfortable with each other, pushing each other, and I don't think Shad would love anybody else to be behind him besides Boone to be able to push him up to this front pack.
Well, the key's got to be the 84 here, because Boone can push him all day long, but if that 84 is not close enough, then none of this is going to matter, and they're going to continue to lose time. That 84 has to be sucked up in unison with the 38, and the 17's got to be able to let him breathe a little bit, because he can't be all over him, because it's just going to make him loose. So, the key to the second pack is definitely the top three.
I mean, there's a lot of cars in this second pack that I'm kind of surprised to see back here. There's some aggressive drivers back here that normally I wouldn't think would back off. Zach Meredith being one of them. Kyle Todd, Braden Holt. Those three are usually guys that are up here running, and we saw it earlier. They were running on the outside line with the rest of CDR, and Hunter Peach is with them as well. So that's 4 cars right there that I'm used to seeing running up front with Nate Lehman, Josh Arnold, Cole Snyder, and Enrique, but unfortunately Enrique's out of the race. And they've backed off, so that's shocking to me. Because in every other series we've run it turned down for what? Those guys do not hold back. And we got pit road action.
Yes, we do. That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it.
Not at all.
I'm kind of surprised.
I mean,
43
laps
to go.
already.
That was only 17 laps into the run. They're about 7-8 laps short of running a full tank. And 7 or 8
Maybe you just
laps would have
put it
put
in the
them
two.
at 36, 35 to go, which means they could have ran another 10, 15 and short pitted, or ran it completely out and pitted. But
with it still being this early, I think it would be wise if you're pitting with, say, like teammates.
I guess you only have
That, well, you have to pit. It's not
you
just
can go
that
24,
you're pitting.
25. There's only one more pit stop.
Yeah. I mean, I still think it's pretty early.
We'll see if the strategy works for him.
We'll
one
see-
thing I'm
we'll see
noticing
if
is
it
Shad
works.
hasn't pitted in 37 laps, which is odd because he wasn't leading the field when they came out for
I'm
any
not
of the
seeing-
restarts.
I'm not seeing the same thing you are.
My sim racing app is telling me Shad has not pitted in 37 laps. He's the only one that has not pitted in 37 laps.
Yeah, mine's telling me it's Bill Hales.
Well,
Oh, it just
tell me
updated.
18.
Never mind. It's changing on the fly, man.
Alright, so if Shad hasn't pitted in 37 laps, that's kind of shocking to me because he was not leading the field at the restarts. So that means he intentionally slowed down. That means he restarted up towards the front and intentionally backed off, which I didn't see him towards the front on the last restart.
I do not see how he's still out there, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, that's kind of
I'm
crazy.
very confused.
With fuel, that's what shocks me is fuel.
Yeah, it makes me feel like that's just like a glitch. Like, that's 20 extra laps on
I mean,
these guys.
I did
Looks
see
like this
somebody
don't-
run 38 laps last night with 2 cautions.
When you count one,
Still,
at least
that's
the stage, just one stage break, and that is 2 cautions, but I never seen him out front, so
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get it. I'm seeing the same number you are. Very confusing.
But out front, we got 20 laps on the front set of tires on all of the cars in the front pack. All of them running nose to tail right now. We got a caution out on track. 48 involved, Ryan McCall. And I'm going to guess this was a pit stop gone wrong.
And that's why
Well, maybe
sometimes
it's
pitting
further-
on your own.
It's further down
No.
the tri-oval.
Yeah, it is.
If that's a pit stop gone wrong, they
Oh, what's that?
There's a few guys that entered pit road, so let me check here. Let's go back. I see Stan's involved, so I'm going to go directly to Stan. See what comes out of this. So the first pack obviously went down pit road the last lap. The next 5 are in line. That's Shad, Matt Boone, Stan Kernathan, all lined up here with Ryan McCall and another driver. I can't tell what number that is.
Lloyd Callahan.
Lloyd Callahan. So, okay, so those 5 are together. We'll see what happens here as they come off the field. I don't see anybody going down pit road. Oh, and the 48. Or is that the 48? No. Lloyd Callahan just gets really loose.
It looked like
And
netcode
then
or
Stan
something.
and that car got together.
That just looks funky. It
You know
looked
what
like
this does,
Stan
though?
got
This shakes up
loose.
the whole group because that puts all the guys that just pitted under green that did not go a lap down, including Kyle Taub, Braden Holt, and the 5 of Hunter Peach. They all just pitted under green. They should be. I would think they would stay out. I would not think that they would come down. But if they don't go down, they still have to pit one more time no matter what from here. So, do you pit?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you were staying out back anyways, so
Oh
why
yeah.
not pit? Or do you go to the front?
Top off. Definitely top off. One to go. I'm topping off, bro. 100%. Especially if I'm in the back.
We're 38 to go, and they didn't pit. They stayed out. I thought they would, because they're gonna have to pit one more time. Now they're out front with fresh tires and fuel to make the one more stop.
Yeah, and they have enough to where they could pit by themselves and be just fine. But that's caution free. We know this.
Yeah.
This highly improbable that happens.
I mean, they only cut 2 laps off of their tires and fuel. They can conserve under caution, probably get that lap or 2 back. It should be fine. But they're at the front now. They were very back, and now they're at the front. So this is going to shake the whole front end up.
Well, I'm a little
Those are
confused
3 drivers
because
that are friendly with CDR too.
I'm a little confused because my sim racing apps is showing them in blue, which tells me they are a lap down and they're about to get a wave around. I believe they're about to take a wave around. I don't
They shouldn't
think
have been a
that
lap
they're
down.
on the lead lap.
SDK's telling me that Kyle Taub is the new leader.
Yes,
Let's
I'm
pull
seeing
Kyle
Nate
Taub.
Lehman. Yep, I'm seeing Lehman as the leader. I think they're about to take the wave around.
See, Sim Racing Apps is telling me Lehman because they haven't come across the finish line, but SDK is telling me Kyle Taub is the new leader based on the scoring pylons, I guess. It'll probably change for you once Kyle passes the finish line here. Kyle, you got a copy of this Watson York up in the booth.
Yeah, I got a copy.
What's going on? It looks like you are the new leader of this field. You guys just came down under green flag to take pit stops. Perfect timing with the caution coming out as you guys were able to stay out, and all 4 of you who were in that second pack laying off of the front pack have now moved first, second, third, and fourth. So this was a huge deal for you. What was the instincts of coming down? York and I both were thinking you guys came down a little early for this third stage.
Well, typically we short pit, and it gets us out in front of the group most of the time, and that's what our thought process was there.
Gotcha. Any questions from you, York?
What's your strategy heading into this lap run? This you got what? One more pit stop left? What's in your
Yeah,
mind?
we're looking at one more pit stop. Not going to be a full fuel run for either stop. Shouldn't be. But yeah, just one more stop.
All right, buddy, go get him.
Alrighty.
We gotta work on in race broadcast
Hey,
commentary
man.
for the cars.
This is my first time, brother.
No, not you. I meant the drivers. I know they're concentrating on driving, and it's probably a lot. I know it's why I've been told before, don't bring me up, but I gotta do it anyways. I mean, it's part of the show, so. But
It is what it is, man.
I know they don't want to give away too much of their strategy, but
They know we're being recorded right now, so he could tell us something.
yeah, I mean, I know that they said short pitting, and I get why they do that, and I've seen them do it at certain super speedways, but I don't know if it's going to work out in this one, short pitting, because based on when they just pitted, they're going to be real close to making it to the finish of the fuel tank.
Meredith got a terrible jump
Yeah,
on
he
that. I don't know if that was intentional to get those 2 out front or what, but that was a terrible restart.
He got a big run coming off of 2 and sucked right back up to the 2 guys in front of him. And that leaves the 3 CDR cars on the outside working their butts off to try to get back up to the front. They are competitive with the whole string of cars on the bottom line.
All it takes. That is all it takes.
J-Paw's up there, but the rest of his group's not clear. He
Not
does
yet,
not
but-
shift down, but I think he's going to bring them right along. They are almost cleared.
That's how you tandem go.
And they're doing it. You can see
That is on
Lehman
display.
comes back to
Now they're clear.
Cole, and then Cole gives him the bump and shoves him right back up to J-Paw, and that's 3 cars versus like 19 on the bottom line.
That are all working together.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you it can be done.
I'm waiting to see when Shad and Boone are going to make a move. They have ridden around in the back of this field the entire race. I know, you and I have done it. We talked about it. And it was boring. And I want to see those guys move up here. I know they're contenders for winning a super speedway race, but I mean, it's not the best show for us to see them riding around in the back because I want them up here battling with these CDR guys. I don't want to see CDR just run this entire race and lead from the front and not let nobody else really come up and try to contend with them. But
I won't say
nobody's
it's
doing it.
impossible, but it is extremely hard to put on a good show at a restrictor plate race with 0 fast repairs and 0 mistakes. So
True.
it is this is the smart way to do it. It is the way, it is what it is. We've done it. We've hated it, but now that we're up here, we can't say that they shouldn't do it because it's helped us out. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. There's a lot of guys, like you've mentioned, that I would like to talk to Boone. I'd like to get his opinion on how things are shaping out right now. So he's came down from a lap down and getting left out by himself. So he's had a little bit of adversity on his own. But
If we
he
get another
got
caution here, I'll definitely grab Boone.
you definitely got 7 guys that are going to control this race from here on out if it goes green. So we'll see if the guys up front short pit with them. I doubt it, but we'll see how it plays out.
I'm noticing in the fuel mileage game, Todd, Peach, Meredith, and Cole are on their 11th lap. The rest of the field is on their 6th. They've got 5 laps of fuel that they need to figure out. But I mean, if they're going to short pit,
I wouldn't even say it's 5. You got to realize a lot of those are green or yellows. So you're looking at maybe 2. Yeah, and if with them riding behind those top 3, yep, they can. But they were talking about short pitting, so I don't think saving fuel matters. If you're short pitting, saving fuel doesn't matter.
The question is, when do you short pit? I mean,
20 to
32
go.
laps to go, so they're
20
on
to go.
12 laps now. If they run another 12, that's 24. That's almost a full tank from what we're estimating. That would put them at 20 laps to go.
20 to go is when I would pit.
Okay, so now put yourself in the CDR driver's seat. You know those guys short pitting you. Are you going to let... They've done it to them. They all have done it together. So do the 3 guys in front short pit with them? Do they communicate that? Or do
I
they
would
go on
not.
their own?
I would keep doing what I'm doing. They're top 3 in this race. Obviously, if you want to win this race and you're not in that top 3, you got to try to do something different in this scenario. So I would stick to the plan. Don't even let what those guys going to do affect your game plan. If you have enough faith in the drivers that are with you, you'll be just fine. It'll be 3 on 4, but then you're going to have other guys that are on the tail end of this pack who aren't going to short pit. So numbers, it's a numbers game, man, and whoever can get on and off pit road the best is who's gonna win this race.
All right, well, while these guys are all lined up, let's take a quick break. We'll do a crank it up session. Turn up your volume and listen to these engines roar around Daytona International Speedway for Turn Down for What's first race in Next Gens. We'll be right back. never mind. We got a caution, so we're going to jump out of the crank it up session and come back to the field and see what happened here. There's a bunch of cars that are a little slow off the backstretch. Coming through the tribal. So we'll go back and take a look to see what we can figure out what happened with this one. I did not get to see exactly what happened there. I'm seeing Charles Keller went off track, so let's see where it came from here.
Looks like a classic case of you can't push the pusher. Shad's got something broke in his car. He's throwing sparks.
Yeah, that's the purple car. Who is that? Is that Charles?
Charles Keller.
Yeah, so you can see when Charles gets to the back of Shad, he tries to get in line, but the car behind him is right there as well, and you can see Charles is swaying all over the place. I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to find Charles on track, find his name. Where is he? The 99. And we'll go to far chase mode, and we'll take a look at this. You can see the 99 swaying all over the place. And as he does that, you can see that the 8 is staying right in line. He's on the pusher, and the 99 just clips him and turns him right around. He's not flush with his back end. He's not straight lined up. He's just all over the place and just clips him.
Yep, just can't push the pusher. That's all that comes down to. A lot of guys got a damage in that, so it's definitely gonna shake things up here. At least for those guys in the
all
back.
the pit stops to happen, and we're still outside the window.
27, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think you can.
The leader, I think, is going to be the problem. The leader's going to have to play leapfrog with teammates. So if the 14, 24, and 22 get lined up again, and they can flip-flop without losing time to the rest of the field, allowing one guy to jump up and run a couple laps, another guy jump up and run a couple laps, that might save them. But if one car gets out front and starts leading, there's no way he's going to have enough fuel. He's going to have to pit, and that means the rest of his team's going to have to decide, do we go with our teammate, or do we conserve and bail on him when he has to pit? Is somebody going to be the sacrificial lamb here?
I don't want to jinx it, but cautions breed cautions, and with us being 27 to go,
Well, let's grab that old good buddy Matt Boone real quick, since we talked about him talking. We'll grab him. Matt, you got a copy, buddy?
Oh yeah, I got you.
All right, we saw the action going on there in that second grouping, that you guys were kind of backed off the front field. What did you see from your windshield, and what are you expecting to do here the rest of the race?
So the 99 just kind of stacked us all up there. I don't know, he must have lost pace somehow, some way, and yeah, that's where that was. What am I going to do the rest of this race? I don't know. Try to win this weird thing. I mean, yeah, I was in last place for the first 2 stages, lap down, and missed the start because my iRacing was kind of crappy at the time, and yeah, here we are in first place right now. So I don't know.
Well, you and Shad ran really well last night, tandem pushing each other for most of the race, and then Shad got taken out when you guys had backed off the field, and then obviously, you didn't finish the race very well there in the top 3, but tonight you two get back together. First time back and turned down for a little while. You missed out on last season. What made you want to come back to turn down for what?
My Tuesday nights are free, and I enjoy these next gens, so we'll hopefully have a good shot at winning some races and having some fun.
Well, you two, with Shad and you being teammates over there, I would expect to see a lot of you guys working together throughout the season. You guys probably have the most experience between the two of you over everybody else, so I would definitely say you guys got an advantage. York, you got any questions for this Boone character that you wanted to talk to real quick as they come off turn 4?
They're going green here. Just want to say you've been the king of adversity yourself tonight on your own. So good luck, buddy, and go get them.
Thanks, man.
All right, so you heard him there. He's happy to be back on the lead lap, and he's back out front. So we'll see what happens here from here. They have gone. Is that still 5? something happened to the outside line that did not get lined up or something, but I'm noticing that they're all single filed on the bottom, so I think they actually went to single file restarts. That's going to be a huge advantage for Matt Miller. Well, for now. Until those three
Yeah,
CDR cars get lined up together.
I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing a single file start, so I don't know what that was.
Well, we don't have.
I know a lot of them.
in the leader,
A lot of them. Oh, somebody's on the wall.
Looks like that's 25 back out here on track.
I just seen somebody was up in the wall, but I noticed that a lot of guys. I can't tell who all did. Looks like 2 guys stayed out there, but they all topped off with 1 to go, which might have been why it was a single file start. Everybody topped off with 1 to go except for 2 people.
Yeah, except for Boone and Keller, so
That might
would be why then.
Yep, that would be why it was a single file start.
Now you have Keller on the back bumper of Boone. He was the one that was pushing Chad at the 8 and got through there and turned him around. Now Keller's stayed out on track and is out here in the 2nd position. I don't know if Boone's comfortable with Keller. I don't know if he knows him at all. I know there's some separation, though, between 2nd and 3rd, and then another gap from 4th to 5th.
Yeah, Keller caused that last caution. He was in 2nd place. So
I thought he got an EUO, but that's why I was a little confused.
Yeah, hold on a minute. I'm just going to go fix this.
All right. But as we watch these guys run around, we're going to go back into that crank it up. So turn that volume back up, and we'll be right back. right, back live at Daytona International Speedway for turn down for what's closing lap. They go Matt Boone leading the field, jumping to the outside row with the CDR guys, Nate Lehman, Cole Snyder, J-Paw, Byron Jones, all stacked up on the outside line, giving up the bottom line, going to Mike Concho, Jeff Ludnam. Great hope. Has jumped up into the second position. Now the rest of the field on the outside line bailing on Matt Boone to go down to the bottom. CDR bouncing. J-Paw on the CDR group has bailed on some of his teammates that have gone around Matt Boone. Sounds like Mike York is back in the booth. Mike, what you got for us?
Yes. I went down and talked to race control. The 99 did cause that last caution, and he should have never started in second place. Somebody didn't catch back up to the field in time, and it caused a whole bunch of black flags, so Papa cleared them all, which means it cleared his, but he should have never started in second place. Papa told him to drop to the tail end of the lead line, and he did not respond and didn't do so, so he was forced to be black flagged. So that's why the 99 is not on the which I knew something. Yeah, I knew something wasn't right because
yeah, when I saw the 99, I was like, how did he get up there? But then when he said everybody came down and topped off, I would have thought maybe that gave him the way to be able to get around that penalty. But even then, he should have still received the penalty. So
yeah,
by
exactly.
not answering, that definitely gets you the black flag.
Well, and I understand. You know, we're several laps past that, but it's better. From my viewpoint, it's better to get it right now instead of worrying about it later. So
yeah, and we don't want it to continue on 3-4 races into the race, and then a guy says, "Why that guy didn't get black flagged?"
Right. So it's just better. I know it's a little bit delayed, but it's the right thing to do. So if anybody has any questions, it'll be explained later.
Looks like he backed out of the race, but I don't know if I would have backed out. I mean, yeah, you went down, you served a penalty. We could get a caution. You could come right back on the lead lap and work your way back up through.
No, he's out there.
Oh, did he come back out? Okay.
Yeah, he's out there.
I thought I seen the 99 disappear.
He's one lap
he
down.
could definitely have stayed out and possibly gotten a lap back. But the 53 and the 2 of Byron Jones have pulled away from the field with tandem-style drafting. And it's been a while since we've seen Bill Hells in turn down for what. He's been in and out over the last couple seasons. And tonight, returning turn down for what in the next gens. And he is on a roll leading this field. Second place, Byron Jones, currently All-Star racing 2 seasons ago, and was doing very well on Sunday for the All-Star race. Got wrecked now. He's definitely pushing the 53 past everybody, and the 99 that we just saw looks like he's going to go a lap down here. Oh, and he stays in front of the leader.
Oh, what is he doing?
That blocks the 53 in. The 2 is going to take the advantage and go to the outside. That's probably going to wind up being another penalty on the 99, I would think. He's already a lap down. He's not fighting for the lap down position because Ryan McCall is the first car a lap down, so that was a bad move there. Normally, you guys move up out of the draft or the line to clear that, but you can see he is fighting to stay on the single lead lap, and I think Byron's going to let him go.
I think everybody is saving fuel. I don't know how these guys got so separated, but I'm listening to some in-car at the moment, and you can tell he is definitely not full throttle. So I think that Byron did the right thing by letting him go, so he's not pulling this train, and he can try to save as much as possible. But I think that's why we saw Boone move up to the high side to begin with. I don't think it was to pick up those CDR guys. I think he solely wanted to get out of leading this pack so he could save the fuel. So I think they're going to be extremely close on fuel as long as there's no caution. It is. I think so. And Byron letting him go like that really was one of his choices.
Yeah, that was a super smart move, letting a lap down car go to the front of the pack and let him tow you around where you can run, 3/4 throttle, half throttle sometimes, and conserve a little bit more fuel. We saw Boone drop off this pack as well, as they were 2 cars, the 2 and the 53, but when they caught the 99, he blocked the 53, which allowed the 2 to go around him, and then as they were side by side, it sucked the 38 and the 54 back up to this lead pack. which also drew the 37 to 9. And then the lap down car of the 8, when he got past, clearly he moved out of the way and let the lead guys go. But once they got by, he got onto the back end of the lead car pack. And now you see that second pack now full throttle, catching back up. You see Ray Holt pull up to the outside to catch up to the rest of them. Will they stick with him? I don't know if I'd have done that, Mike. If I was the 16, I think I would have went to the inside of the 54 and went right by him.
Nah, they're teammates.
I don't know.
Teammates.
That was a big speed difference.
It was, but these guys are sticking to their guns.
Well,
I
it
think
definitely helped
they
because here they
might
come on the outside, right on by.
I think they either A, have saved enough and they're good to go, or B, they realize they're not going to be able to save it, so you're better off trying to get as far out ahead of them as possible and pit, short pit. Because the earlier you pit, the less fuel. The earlier you pit, the less fuel you have to take, which means the shorter amount of time you'll be on pit road. So obviously you do not take tires, but that 99 worries me. He should not be a part of this group. He never let any of these guys go.
Yeah, I think that'll have to be talked about after this. I get it if you're one lap down and you are the lucky dog, maybe staying up front, maybe coordinating with the leaders, talking with the leaders, saying, hey, I'm a lap down, let me be the lead car of the pack, I'll conserve fuel for you guys. Something like that, if it was talked about, maybe that makes sense. But you can tell when Bill Hell's pulled up and went to get around him, the 99 through the block, which stalled the 53, and now look at the battle in the 2 when the 2 goes to the outside. That was
very questionable decisions. But we're in the broadcast booth thing, and nothing we can do about it.
But I do see the 99 pulling off the track, so down the bottom.
Nope, looks like he's trying to make a run here. I don't know what he's doing, man.
He was way down on the apron there for a second.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what he's doing.
But we have a new leader, Braden Holt, out there in what looks like a GoDaddy paint scheme. A paint scheme you want to run on any kind of track, because the person who ran that before did not do well.
It looks cool. Mark Martin, I'm pretty sure Mark Martin won a race in a GoDaddy car.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe I'll give him that one. If it's the Mark Martin, Danica one, not one I've won. But 2 teammates out front. 2 teammates, I think, on a beach game there. But the 17 of Zach Meredith right there in 4th. J-Paw up to 5th. And then the 24, Cole Snyder, 6th. A lot of militia guys out front. Again.
I'm just listening to some radio chatter. I think
coming up on another lap down car. Where's the 23 gonna go? He stays glued to the bottom, moves down to the apron. That's what I expected to see from the 99. That's a classy move from whoever the 23 is. I'm not sure who that is. That would be Nick Marshall. So classy move by Nick Marshall there. He stayed on the bottom. He stayed in the line he was in. And then moved to the apron, got out of the way, and let all of that cars go. That's a classy move by a driver. He's a few laps down. He's 9 laps down, so definitely classy move. Avoidance there. No issues there with the lap down car. The rest of the field continuing on. We'll see what happens here. The 53 still right behind that 99. And I can see the 99 popping up in yellow communicating. I don't know who he's communicating to because he's not racing anybody that's around him. So unless he's communicating to the 53 saying, hey, I'll pull out if you want me to go with, or if you want to go with me to try to get past all these guys, maybe that would be it. But if I was a 53, I don't know if I'd listen to him because he blocked you earlier as a lap down car. I keep looking at Brayton. That bright yellow 22, because there ain't no way he's going to stay there behind these 4 guys. Not when he's got a teammate of Cole Snyder sitting behind him.
I just wonder if he saved the fuel.
I mean, I did see J-Paw win in our first season in Xfinity at Talladega Super Speedway under fuel mileage. He ran further than anybody else and ran out of fuel coming out of 4 and coasted all the way through the front stretch to that long checkered flag and got the win. He was almost a whole lap in front of everybody. I think you actually might have finished second in that race, if I'm not mistaken.
I
So
did.
you had to run all the way around to try to catch him as he was out of fuel. And I think you came up like 8 seconds short or something like that of passing him. So if there's somebody that can do a super speedway fuel mileage, I've never seen anybody do it before other than
Well,
J-Paul.
look at the gap he has between him and Meredith. That tells you everything you need to know.
We've got 6 laps to go. 54 is out front being tailed by the 16, who's got the 5 and the 17 in tow. And then there's that gap that you're talking about back to the 22 and the 24. Who's going to make the move and when does it happen? I say the 22 is going to make the move, and I say he's going to make it with about 2 laps to go. He's going to start making his surge to go to the front. Or at least
It just
positioning himself.
depends. It just depends on the fuel, man. If you're saving, if you're depending on how close you are, you might not even make it. So just wait for them to run out and be ready to jump high.
I don't know. I keep thinking about the fuel, but I just at this point, if you're that concerned with half a lap or a lap, I don't know if you can conserve that much in 5 laps running at the speeds that they're running.
He's still keeping a pretty big gap on that 17. We've seen the runs come. There's no way he's just sitting back there waiting to make that run because he's shown it way too early. He would have showed his place. He's got to be saving. He's saving way more than those guys in the top 4. And if he's been doing it the whole race, we'll see how it plays out.
Bar go across the screen for Charles Keller talking. I don't know what he's talking about, but he's doing a lot of talking on the mic.
Yeah, I'm eavesdropping. I'm trying to catch as much of it as I can. I don't think he quite understands what happened earlier, but we'll get that sorted out
Here
later.
comes the move. Zach Meredith moving to the outside. Nobody going with him, so he's going to move back in front of J-Paul.
Yeah, it's too big of a gap. Yep, that's Meredith is going to be the one with a major run here. I think that's why not yet.
He's going to pull out, and J-Paul's not going to go with him. He needs J-Paul to be on his back bumper when he gets that run.
Yeah, they're too far apart. Too far.
If I was Meredith
can't believe
at this
there's
point, I
only
would
3
drag
laps
the
to
brake
go.
a little bit. I would drag back to J-Paul and get a big 5 and hope that J-Paul and Cole and the 2 of Byron Jones go with me. Oh, and J-Paul gets loose coming off the floor.
What the?
Where did J-Paul go? He spun off the track. Oh, he's coming back on track, and he cuts off
Oh
to 77.
my god.
And he stays in the front pack.
And look behind him, Dohar leading the outside.
Wow.
Here they come. Oh, Dohar got loose. Oh my goodness. And look who's the third car. The third car on the outside lane. We haven't talked about them all race.
It's a Jose Ruiz.
It is.
All-Star winner. Or this
Jose,
Sunday's All-Star race winner.
Let's see what happens.
Did J-Paul fall off this front pack? Or is he still he's still kind of attached. He's hoping Lednam can pull him up there, but I think maybe J-Paul's out of this. But Bowling's still in this. He's smashed up the bumper line.
Kurt, we're coming to one to go, man.
Yeah, I know.
My flag at the time.
It's about to get exciting here. White flag should
what
be
a
raised.
move!
There
Oh
it
my
goes.
god!
White flag.
Snyder with the move! Oh my
Snyder
goodness.
bailed on Meredith, and I think
He
Meredith
bailed.
wanted to go. But does the 16 or the 5 jump up?
He better hang on tight. He better
There's
hang
not enough
on.
cars. Dohar getting loose. Oh, the 2
Oh
and the
my
78 in the wall.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, there goes the 24. He tried to come down on the 53. Does Todd bail on the 54? Does the 5 go with him? Nope, the 5 going.
Meredith. Watch Meredith. Watch Meredith.
54 going up for the block, comes back down, goes loose, and it's going to be the
what
5.
What just happened?
5-1. Woo.
What just happened?
I think Jose Ruiz just finished second. Nope, Zach Meredith finishing second, Jose Ruiz third.
What happened to Holt?
I think
Did he
got
just
loose.
lose it?
Yeah.
Oh my
He got
god.
loose and went down pit road.
He just
jumped
threw
from second,
away.
from lead all the way back to 10th. And I think he's going to get a black flag penalty for going down pit road. That's going to drop him out of 10th, or it should. Because even though he finished the race under the or on pit road, he would have received a black flag, which means he wouldn't have finished 10th. I think he goes to the end of the lead lap cars, if I'm not mistaken by rules. But that'll be Hunter Peach winning the inaugural first race in Next Gen Series for Turn Down for What. Wow, that was a crazy finish. We'll take a look here after Hunter Peach comes down and does his burnout. Hopefully everybody leaves him alone and paid attention to the rules, because they need to leave him alone and let him come out here and do his burnout. We'll go to the burnout page and we'll be right back as Hunter Peach is going to do his burnout. We're going to take a quick look at this finishing moment. And we're going to go all the way back to when Braden Holt went off track and went down pit road. So as they come off of 4, that's when you're going to see the 54 disappear. .54 comes off, he goes up the block to 5, he comes down, and as he makes that hard left, go down in front of the 16, right down pit road. Look at the 45 splitting the 2 cars down the middle to get third. And Hunter Peach is going to come away with the win in his 5 car. And the 17, you called him coming through the field, and comes home second. So whew, that was a close one there. We're going to take a quick break and come back for Burnout Lane with the top 3 coming up into the booth.
You guys would wreck and I would go through the middle.
That was great.
Yeah, Brain ran out of gas.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
I thought he got loose and just turned it right off there.
I didn't know what the hell just happened.
All right, going to Burnout Lane. KS Games Broadcasting Burnout Lane. Top 3 are in the booth. We're going to go with the winner tonight, and that is the 5 car of Hunter Peach. Hunter, you got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is a crazy finish that we just watched. This thing was insane to the end. We were trying to figure out what was going on as we saw cars peel off and go down pit road. We saw cars crashing. We saw all kinds of stuff on this last lap, and somehow you make it through and get to the front. You made the move on the outside. You went up to the front, and then all of a sudden everything started just breaking apart for everybody else, and you come home with the inaugural first race in Next Gen Series for Turn Down for What. How does it feel, and what happened there on that last lap from your perspective?
Honestly, it feels pretty amazing. Obviously, win at Daytona, a very special track. Can't thank my whole teammates enough at CCR with Zachary Meredith, Kyle Tubb, and Braden Holt. wouldn't be the winner if it wasn't for them. We worked excellent today, field strategy, everything. But yeah, definitely a chaotic race for sure. Really wasn't planning on kind of making a move right there. I was really content where I was running just to get the points, but then they started wrecking and we just kind of broke away, and it was just, we were gonna race each other at the white flag either way.
Well, you guys definitely put on a show tonight, and I mean it was crazy. You guys came down and did the pit stop ahead of everybody else under green. Then the caution comes out. You guys go to the front. You never really looked back from there. A lot of guys decided to come and top off, and you guys made it through with Boone and I think Charles Keller staying out and not topping off. What was the strategy there to do all of that, and then how much fuel did you have left with Braden running out?
Honestly, I had about 1 lap to the good as of right now, but that's not doing burnouts. But the race started. We were really kind of just gonna ride out the first stage, just sit in the back, kind of feel everything, get to know the cars a little bit more, and then we were gonna obviously short pit the stage. We weren't up there in the top 5 like Josh and all of them were, so we kind of short pit the first stage, and we were gonna basically commit to getting stage 2 points. And obviously I tried pushing Griff. Car kind of overheated. I wasn't great at pushing today. I lacked in that. Kind of hurt my teammates a little bit there, but obviously we really didn't get much stage points. I think I got 1 point in that stage 2, but. And then, obviously, we were just committed to short pitting the rest of the way just to kind of get away from the group and get ourselves clean air because we knew we were a good group to actually push together.
Well, you guys definitely did that. You get the first victory in Next Gen. You've had a lot of victories in Xfinity. You've had a lot of victories in trucks. You're a two-time champion, one for Xfinity, one for trucks.
I'm a one-time champion.
Oh, you're
I
one?
lost both titles. Both titles in Xfinity. I lost to Vane and I lost to
Oh,
Griff.
that's right. Okay, sorry. I thought you were.
Also lost to
bad.
J. Paul last year.
Yeah, this past season you came up only a few points short there, chasing J. Paul.
I come up top today.
You did come out on top today. Now we're gonna go into this season, and I mean the season, the whole schedule's just all over the place. But what are we looking at for race 2 going to Auto Club?
Honestly, I'm pretty sure the way the format works, I'm thinking when you're in, you're locked, right? I'm correct?
I am not sure on that one. We'll have to talk to Layman or Griff.
If it is, I'm pretty sure if it's a win you're in, I'm locked. I'm gonna be content, kind of, just mainly going for stage points now. Just might be a little bit more aggressive on calls, knowing we got that win as a safety net. But also just trying to learn these cars more. I'm still trying to learn these cars a little bit, but.
Well, I know I talked to you before, and you said you did not like these cars, and you come out in the first race and win.
I do not. I hate these cars with the passion.
Is that a trend with you? Because normally, I didn't have this track until this afternoon. I don't like this track. I'm not very good at this track. Those are usually what you tell me every time you win. Now it's, I hate the next-gen cars, and you come out and win.
Well, I mean, it's a Daytona. Anybody can win this track, let's be honest. But, I mean, once we start getting to these speedways like road courses, I'm definitely going to be having to learn. I'm not familiarized with, from the Gen 6 cars of these with the brake bias and all that. There's so many different options you can change. I'm having to ask my teammates more advice of what they're kind of running based on what I'm doing. So I'm still trying to learn this. Yeah, just basically just looking forward to this season. Obviously, going to be really fun. New learning curve for everybody. And now I definitely owe my teammates one for today.
All right. Well, any last minute shout outs for you?
Yeah, shout out to everybody watching the stream. I know. And then shout out to you for putting it on, and Mike for putting on this league, and everybody that raced today. Very excellent race, very clean. Way through. Very exciting. And to all my friends out there watching, appreciate them, what they do for me, and yeah.
Well, you're going to have to wait to see the broadcast, as we've had all kinds of issues with Streamlabs tonight, so I'm recording this whole race, and then I will be putting it out there after this is over with and stuff. I'll get it downloaded and put it out. But unfortunately, we weren't able to go live tonight because Streamlabs is shut down, so not sure what's going on there. But great job tonight getting the first win, first race. I think it might be winning you're in, but I think you have to be within a certain amount of positions for the top 10 kind of like NASCAR does. So I would assume you'd probably be able to stay in the top 10 with as well as you drive at most tracks. There's definitely some room for you to maybe take it easy. So congrats on this and good start to the season, bud.
Appreciate it. You have a good one.
You too. All right, we got second place, which is Hunter's teammate Zachary Meredith. Just won a couple weeks ago, 2 in a row, I think, for the ending of the truck series. York, I am going to ignore your message and make you interview Zach. You better not go.
Nah, man. Go. Hold on.
Go on. All right, Zach. You come up second tonight. Right there at the end, you were sitting fourth, and Mike was screaming on the stream here, saying, "Watch the 17, watch the 17, he's coming." And I mean, the seas parted for you with the 54 pulling off. You said he ran out of fuel there, so that gave you an extra position there. And you came on the outside. I thought you were going to be real close to the 5, and you were right to the back bumper of him as you guys came through the start finish line. Um, how did the race go for you? We saw you running in the back off the field, which was a little strange. I talked about it during the recording. I was like, I'm a little shocked to see the 17 back here in the second pack away from the front. Normally, you're out front or right in the mix of the front. But what was the strategy of backing off and going to the second field or second pack?
So with the finish real quick. I mean, my goal was once we knew it was just gonna be us four duking it out. That's where I seen Peach go up, and I was like, okay, I'll push him, see if we can make this really interesting. And then that's where Brain ran out of gas or was sputtering. So when he went up, it threw me off because it was a major momentum. And then when he swerved back down, I tried going in the middle, but I ended up hitting his quarter. I hit Peach's quarter panel and got him completely sideways. So the fact that he held on to that and didn't wreck is amazing. And we finished 1, 2, and 4. I don't know what position Braden's going to finish in because of a black flag because of the going down pit road, but he also did the right thing by not wrecking the field because of running out of gas. I don't know how that's going to work out for that. But yeah, no, we talked multiple different strategies before the race and in practice. But our main strategy was to set up for the second stage and to do the third stage like up front. So we were gonna pit early, give up stage 1 to get points in stage 2, but that didn't happen in stage 2. Peach was overheating when we were trying to push. I think Kyle while he was leading, but so we didn't get points there, unfortunately. But it did give us track position to stay up there, and then we just wanted to wreck. We wanted to dodge any wreck that was going to be possible. Um, that was our main goal, was just to avoid wrecks, just because of what happened in the All Star race. Way more wrecks than what could have happened, but yeah, we just wanted to avoid trouble, and then we just try to set ourselves up for that second stage points, then get it, and then that third stage, we had a perfect short pit strategy, and then the caution and Pacey gained spun, and it split the field, ruined our idea. It ruined the plan because we had to go all out, try to get the main pack, and we still couldn't catch them. And we were like, all right, well, we're still pinning on this lap. And then the caution came out, saved us. And then another caution came out, and it was like, okay, now everybody has to save. So, but yeah, it was just a total team effort. Me, Peach, Todd, and Braden. It was just us four. We wanted to work together. My main goal in the last 20 laps or so, being the fourth place car, was just block for my teammates. Take whatever run away from everybody else, whether it's J. Paul, Cole, Murphy at the end. I'm not gonna throw a stupid block like it did in the All-Star race. If they were gonna get to the outside, I was gonna let them go. But I was just trying to make sure that we would just be the top 4.
We saw you and the rest of CDR, your whole group here, and CDR's group working together for most of the first and second stage. You guys lined up all on the outside, about 9 of you, and you guys were just running this race from the front. And towards the end here, like you just said, you were going to block runs with even if it came from J-Paw. So was it just your team, or were you guys kind of working together as a group for most of the race, and then towards the end just said team versus team?
Honestly, it was basically team versus team the whole race. Like early in the race, it was like, okay, we'll relax. If we all find each other and it's a big group, we'll just relax. But obviously, we wanted to stay competitive and not let the others try to catch us. So That didn't really work out in the second stage because J Paul went right past me and won the stage with like 5 to go. Uh, but yeah, it was basically team versus team, and I was virtually the spotter for the front 3 guys. I was spotting Peach and Tob and Brain, telling them what to do, telling Tob to just hammer the gas, you know, bump as much as possible. Told Peach to stay as close to him as possible, and I was gonna go. I don't know if you looked at it, but I was going in the middle to try to take away, a possible, run. They're going to be forced to the bottom, and um, I was just trying to lead them, and I would say I think I did a decent job. It was just wild to see J Paul get loose off of 2, and then I just told him to floor it. I was like, floor it. They don't have a run. Everyone side by side, just go, go, go. And then Dohar and Cole hit each other, and it really messed them up. So I was just like, just go, guys, just go. Just go. Whatever happens, it's the last lap. It's go. So and then obviously coming down to 3 and 4, we're all teammates. We all want to run well. We don't want to wreck each other. We want to make it an interesting finish, and sure as hell, Brain running out of gas made it an interesting finish. And me almost turning Peach. I mean, if he didn't save that car, I would have won the race. I would have felt bad because it was, these bumpers are pointed. But man, that we had a plan for everything, and at the end, it all fell through. So I'm happy with it.
Well, you guys definitely put on a show tonight. Any shout outs for you?
Yep, my team, Peach, Tob, and Brain, man. It's us 4. We're gonna try to win every race as many races as possible. And then shout out to you guys for broadcasting this. Hopefully, when you guys do get this up and going, I can watch it and see how it looked from your guys' view. I hope it was entertaining, not too boring. But and then shout out to all the NAOR guys, so Griff, Q, J Paul, Cole. They ran a great race. So yeah, just overall good race for everybody.
All right. Well, that's your second place finisher, Zach Meredith, in number 17, coming home second tonight to start the season, right behind his teammate Hunter Peach. Great job. We're going to bring up second or third place finisher, and that's Jose Ruiz, last week's All Star race winner. Jose, you got a copy?
Yeah, I do. What's going on?
All right. Obviously worked through some issues that you were having with some surgery last week or this past Sunday and won the All Star race. And you come up 2 positions short tonight from winning the first race in the Next Gen Series. A great race by you, a super speedway again. There at the end, obviously with Braden pulling off, you kind of cut the C's and went right through the middle and bringing home third. What was it instinct to go to the middle, or was it planned when you saw the cars kind of split there, or did you just kind of act as it happened?
I act as it happened. Honestly, my eyes got big when I saw the 17 start to hook the 5. It started going down towards, I think, the 16. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to happen. I'm going to win right here. But Hunter made an awesome save. That was full of watch from behind. But yeah, I thought the 17 was going to block the middle there, but looks like he stayed up in the top lane, and I just went through the middle there and somehow got third. I think it was close between me and the 16 there, but looks like I barely got it. It was a close race.
It definitely was. I'm being ushered to the other room, but um, great job by you coming home third tonight. Great start to the season. I hope you're feeling better, and I hope you can. Maybe you should stay having surgery or something because you've definitely been on a roll the last 2 races and turned down for what. You had a win a few weeks ago too, and turned down for what. So I mean, this is a great start for you, continuing the momentum. We've got a short season with the next gens, only 14 races, 13 now to go, 9 to go in the regular season. Then we start the playoffs. So great start by you tonight. That 45 was looking awesome on track. I love the paint scheme. A little different seeing you in the 45 instead of the 23, but obviously somebody stole that number from you. But I mean, great job by you. Any shout outs for you?
Shout out to you guys for putting this league on and Papa Bear for letting us run. It's a lot of fun to run in here, no matter where I finish. But shout out to you. I was working with Tyler and Stan there, and who else? There was a couple of us working together. McCall throughout the race, but yeah,
Well, it was definitely a good race to watch, so definitely appreciate the show you guys put on tonight. We'll look forward to seeing you in the top 3 again, maybe next week. So catch you guys later.
Hopefully, we'll see.
And we'll put this out on the stream shortly. Unfortunately, like I said, Streamlabs was acting up all over the place tonight. Apparently, there was a lot of outages with Streamlabs. So I'll get this thing saved, downloaded, and added to the files on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. And hopefully, people enjoy what they watch. I know it was a little hectic at the beginning with it shutting down on us repeatedly, but it was a great rest of the race for what we could catch in the recording. We got about 2 hours worth of recording, so I only missed about the first 20 minutes battling this Streamlab issue. So appreciate everybody who's tuning into this, and we'll catch you guys next week, hopefully with no issues from Streamlabs.